Welcome to Happy Hour, brought to you by Best Damn Bookkeeping. Part of the reason I keep doing this podcast is because it constantly creates awareness of what I'm doing. And I don't have to sell anything to anybody, but I need them to know that I do best damn bookkeeping and that it's not boring, stupid ass old fat lady in the basement or whatever bookkeeping. And that I'm a normal ass dude. I'm not some AI, right? I'm just a beer drinking, F-bombing, whatever. And we can have fun while we do this thing.
Yeah.
And so, I could be so much more aggressive with this podcast and the show and try to get more viewers and more followers, and I probably should. But even the regular weekly episode of that over the last 5-6 years has just fueled a growth where it's like, I spend my time, but frankly, like, what the fuck else would I rather be doing right now besides talking to you? Like, we tried to do this so many times, and I was like, hell yeah, I get to talk to Jonathan this week, right?
Yeah.
So, granted, I'm an extrovert, and this is a fun way to connect with other business owners. But I'm so thankful that I started the podcast. Partially just it drives awareness, and I don't need to go sell it to anybody. They just know. They know what Dan does. There's no doubt about it. And he's the goofball, and he does his beer drinking thing and whatever. So now when I go to a coach's clinic, aka any convention or any show, I mean, I remember the one time I walked into like CBF Live, and it was Sean and I, and we had so many old gals walking past us just laughing like, oh, you guys are so funny, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And it's like, we don't know who the hell they are, right? But they just see us here and there, just bopping around doing our thing. And so that might be, not everybody's built to do a podcast. It's a commitment, right? You have to keep it regular, but you can get guests on that have their own audience. Right. If you get an influential coach on, there's other coaches that are following that coach, then listen to the podcast episode. And so you have a background that talks about what you do, but you're just bullshitting with a football coach, right? Who you're curious about anyway, because you want to know what's important to them and what they got going on and how their season went and who their best player was and who got injured this year. And how did you knock off the number one team in the state who hadn't lost a game in 4 years, right? Like, you're never going to run out of questions for that high school football coach. They're going to love chatting with you anyway. And so like that for me has fueled the ability to create all the social media stuff. Cause then we're dropping, like right now we're just live on YouTube, but Jai will take this, make it a podcast, cut it up and put it on Twitter, put it on Instagram, put it on, I don't know, TikTok. I don't know. What are all the places that things go?
Everywhere.
Yeah. And so Facebook, if I was still there. But so like that, and again, nobody buys from it, but you can't sell it to them because it's like maybe yours you can, because it is like a need. Bookkeeping is just a pain in the ass. And so I don't try to sell anybody anything. When they're ready, they come. It's just important, just kind of like maid service. When they're ready, they come. It's hard to convince people that they need a home cleaner, but they need to know who you are and make it easy for them to find you when they're ready to say go. Hey, home service heroes. Thank you guys so much for tuning into our home service happy hour content today. I sure hope you learned a little something, and I sure as heck hope that it was entertaining. If you did find it fun and entertaining, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for more cool, fun, entertaining business content. And speaking of which, stay tuned. There's a little more here and a little more right here. Check it out.